1, the commandos are moving up to my building.
One of the world's most dangerous jobs.
Overseas, it's very dangerous. Green Berets actually go in behind enemy lines, work with the indigenous population, win over the hearts and minds of the people, and build up the resistance. That's our primary mission.
Training a hostile country's army.
Terrorism gets funded by the heroin produced by the poppy field in Afghanistan. My team gets hired to bring down those drug lords.
To extinguish their own threats.
You have to watch the guys you're actually training because you don't know if they're insurgents or not.
Welcome to the new series, Green Berets for Hire.
We look like normal, everyday Americans, which we are, but we have a very unique skill set.
I'm Kenny Meller, retired Green Beret Special Forces.
He's a team sergeant. What he says goes.
Kenny's loyal to a fault. He sacrifices himself. He throws himself on grenades.
You know, he's got 2 teenagers, and it's funny because his wife doesn't understand his life. She wanted him to stay at home and be a school teacher, and it was hilarious because he would call me every day and says, "I'm not doing that. I can't be a school teacher."
Bobby's the smartest man in his own mind. He's also my best friend. There isn't anyone else I would want taking care of me than Bobby in a medical situation.
Bobby Scally, he just talks shit to be talking shit.
I always wear a headband.
As far as that bandana, I haven't a clue.
Makes me feel safe and comfortable.
This ain't Rambo, dude.
His attention span of a gnat. He'll be there talking, and next thing you know, he's chasing butterflies.
Mike Emmerly and I have worked together in Special Forces. We call him Mad Mike. He loses his temper very quickly.
They tab me as the angry guy. I'm not angry as long as shit goes the way it's supposed to go.
I've seen him tell colonels, "You're full of shit."
I'll tell you the way it is, and I have no regrets. It kind of got me into some hot water a few times over my military career. He likes to hit the sauce, but as far as tactically, nobody's better than him with a gun. I'm very comfortable with an M4. It's like natural to me. There's something about clearing a room of bad guys knowing you're the meanest motherfucker in there.
Now, Kim Carruthers, he don't shut up. He just goes and goes and goes.
I'm a Halo jump master and I'm a combat diver, so I'm a rarity in the military where I'm both Halo qualified and scuba qualified. And of course, you know, most blacks don't like getting in the water, so it was a big rarity. I'm one of those guys. Kim, you can't shut them up. And I raise pit bulls. I've got a regulation kennels out back. They shit like donkeys, but I'm out there every day when I'm home. But my wife, she won't go out there every day. One thing about animals, all they have to be fed and taken care of and loved. They don't ask for nothing. You know?
When he's by himself, he talks nonstop. When it's time for the mission to go, he's all business.
Kim Carruthers is one of those guys that if the shit goes south, you want Kim with you.
Well, I am. I'm loyal to a fault. We'll break bread. We'll be in knee deep in a fucking mud puddle of shit. But, you know, we're in the shit together. And that's the way I've always been.
You'll see a lot of drama between Kenny and I because, you know, I'm very persuasive.
Bobby always tries to push his ideas on me. He'll have 100 ideas. 99 of them are bullshit. The easiest way I deal with it is I say no, because it's easier to go back and say yes than say yes to begin with and then change it to no. You know what I mean? Bobby was Seagal's bodyguard for a while, and he had this German Shepherd. I told Bobby, don't give the dog people food. He's like, "Oh, but he likes me." And he's sneaking it. In the middle of the night, you hear Seagal screaming, "Call the vet, the dog just shit all over my rug." It wasn't just a rug, it was some like Japanese rug from like 1490 something.
If you drop the ball with Mike, you're going to hear about it. He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to tell you exactly what you did wrong.
If you're doing something good, I'll acknowledge that also.
Mike tolerates Bobby.
He calls me Hollywood.
Mike has a very short fuse with Bobby.
Mike will just kind of chuckle and laugh, but I'm not sure if he's laughing with me or at me. My ex-wife, we live together.
My ex-wife lives in the same town, but I ain't living with her.
People always ask me, they're like, how do you do it? When we got divorced, we sat and talked to each other about the best interests of the children. Then we knew we had a co-parent, and it's kind of an unusual situation, but it works for us. She'll tell you that she's never had cosmetic surgery, but that's a lie. She spent $150,000. And I said, "Are you kidding me? Your breast didn't cost that much when we were together." My God, it would have been cheaper to remodel the Titanic.
Static line, we can do it all. We can train international, we can train national, we can train schools, we can train on the borders.
The reason that Static Line does so well is because as Green Berets, we're actually using all the skills that we acquired in Special Forces, and now we're taking them into the contracting world. We've gotten requests from princesses, we've gotten requests from high-end businessmen, we've gotten requests from Hollywood, and I think one of the strangest requests was training nannies on defensive driving, how to do hand-to-hand.
As a former Special Forces guy, I have the ability to train foreign internal defense, counterinsurgency, direct action. Basically, you're an advisor.
So we've got all this combined experience in unconventional warfare to take and to train people here in America.
You teach people how to think outside the box, how to think ahead and plan.
When I'm in New York City with Static Line Group and I'm training NYPD and they're still talking about what happened at 9/11, it touches home. And I feel like, we're still in the fight.
After the Sandy Hook shooting, we ran 3 classes, all made up of officers from all over the state of Connecticut.
A big situation has just happened. Let's say Boston. Now you've got 20 or 30 different police agencies from all over the state coming to help one department. We teach them how to all act as one unit and one team.
The train a police department or agency on the U.S. border, but they've got 100 miles. How do you identify the most likely avenues of approach where they're coming across the border with the drugs or weapons?
You've got people doing domestic terrorism where they're pulling out guns in theaters or they're going into schools. The country has changed. There's a war being fought in this country. Well, we want to give the guys that are fighting that war the upper hand.
We don't know the word quit or fail. We're MASH. We're the A-team. We're the expendables. But the misconception is we're all these steely-eyed killers, and we're not. We're normal dudes. We're the guys you see in the minivan pulling out, going to work, but I'm going to Afghanistan, bye, and they think, oh, I'm just going over to soccer practice.
So here we are on mission prep to do something, and I'm getting phone calls from my daughter. It's an emergency, call me. I'm like, guys, 1 second. Come to find out, the extensions weren't put in her hair the right way. I'm like, baby, it's okay. We can fix it. And then I gotta, hang the phone up and then go back to the mission. The guy's like, what happened? I'm like, oh no, it's all under control.
I can't count how many times Bobby's called me. We're like little bitches on the phone. He'll call me up, oh, Jake did this. And I'm the same way. You wouldn't believe what Joe did, so we're our own support system.
Sometimes I'm out there with her and 5 of her girlfriends, bringing them to the mall, and I'm trying to keep 5 girls together. I'm teaching them about rally points. If you get lost, this is the rally point. It's actually harder to take out 5 14-year-old girls than it is to guard the heads of state.
My daughter was killed in 2001 by her husband, so I'm raising her son.
I could never imagine going through what Kim is going through, having your daughter murdered.
Boss, my daughter got killed when I was in the stockade. That's out of my 27 years, I did 21 months in the stockade. We almost lost everything, but my wife, she's hardcore. She's from the South Bronx. She's hard as woodpecker lips, and she puts up with my ass. It's just me, her, and my grandson, and my dogs.
If I could have only one word to describe being a Green Beret, that word would be team. Ball busting is non-stop.
Green Berets are psychologically trained and mentally prepared for anything.
I trust my life to those guys. If we're actually firing rounds downrange and we're moving to contact, I know that I can depend on these guys. I don't have to worry about it.
Together, we make the most badass team out there.
America needs heroes. We make the world a better place. Being crazy is just part of the job.
When the government can't send troops into hell, they buy Green Berets for hire.